Hello, this is Bruno pelletier-bacquaert. We are going to arpeggiate our scales today. So I know what you're thinking. A scale is a scale, an arpeggio is an arpeggio. So what is he talking about? Arpeggiating the scales, right? So it's actually a little simpler than you might think. And I think it will make a lot of sense. I'm going to think about a C major scale. So here's a scale, simple C major scale. That's one of the simplest fingerings. And there are 7 notes in my major scale, as in most major scales for that matter, right? So 7 notes in the major scale. And the chord that I usually would associate with my C major scale would be a C major 7th. So here's a C major 7th chord. So if I were to arpeggiate that C major 7th, this is what I get. Respectively, the root, the third, major third, so major scale, right, major chord, perfect 5th, and major 7th. And I could go all the way up to the octave, like this, right? And go up and down like this, okay? So this arpeggio has 4 notes, root, 3rd, 5th, 7th, right? Out of the 7 notes of the major scale. So it means we're missing 3 notes. And the missing 3 notes are D, the 2nd note of the scale, F, the 4th note of the scale, and A, the 6th note of the scale. And that spells a D minor triad. If I were making my D minor triad a D minor 7th chord, I would actually add the C note again. So I would have D, F, A, C, right? The C, we already played it in the C major arpeggio, right? So there's still really 7 different notes. And all I'm going to do is then combine those 2 arpeggios back to back, and that's going to give me all 7 notes of my major scale. So that's what I meant when I was saying we could arpeggiate the scale. So here's what I'm talking about. C major, and then D minor 7, like this. Those 2 back to back. Now, what's a little more interesting than what I just did here is to sort of zigzag through the arpeggios, meaning I'm going to go up one and then down the other one. So up the C major 7, I'm going to have this. And I'm going to go all the way up to the octave, and then this octave, remember, is the 7th of my D minor 7th chord. And from that C note, I'm going to go down the D minor. And then I can land again on the C and then loop that little pattern. So this is going to be this. Like this. So let me loop through it, like I said, a few times. It's a nice technical exercise, really. More than anything, really. I mean, I can't say that it's not a lick. Yes, we do have all 7 notes of what you could call either C major scale or even an Ionian mode. But frankly, I think it's probably more interesting as a technical exercise and a way to really hear a scale broken down in thirds, because that's what the arpeggio gives us, more than anything else. So now this is starting from this area. What's going to be interesting is to find the same little exercise in different places. So I'm starting here from the 6th string. I could do the exact same thing starting from the 5th. So I'm going to have my C major going up, and then here I go up to that C note, and then now I'm going to descend my D minor, and then loop again. Like that. I can do the same thing from the 4th string, so still starting with the 2nd finger. First, here I'm going to stretch the 3rd finger and then roll it into the B, and then play the C with the pinky. So So that's my C major 7 chord, arpeggio, and then the D minor, I'm going to go A, F, and then here I'm going to use the 4th finger for that D note, so that I'm back in position to hit again that C note, so that I can loop the pattern again. So this one is a little trickier than the previous two, but it's really interesting. I like how the position shifts a little bit. This way, see, you have to make room for the 2nd finger to get back in position. We can do the same thing starting from the 3rd string. So now the C note will be played first with the 1st finger. So I have C, E, so there again I'm rolling my 1st finger, so C, E, G, and then B here with the 3rd finger. I go up a half step, I land on my C note, and then I go down my D minor 7 arpeggio. That's actually a very easy way to finger the D minor 7 chord. So here it is. Okay, pretty simple, right? Now there's a whole series of fingerings, because you might already know that a C major 7th arpeggio could start with the 2nd finger or with the 4th finger. So now let's see what happens if I start this way. So I'm going to have C with the 4th finger, E with the 3rd, G with the 1st. I'm going to play the B also with the 1st, and then go back in position for that C, and then now descending through my D minor 7. So I have C, A with the 3rd, F with the 4th, and then D with the 1st finger. Okay. The idea is to play this very cleanly, not to do it fast, but you want to be smooth, connect your notes, play them as evenly as possible. That's really what I try to do when I do those kind of things. Okay, so we had C major starting from here. So we're not going to start it from here because we don't have room, because of the open strings, but we could do it up an octave from here. So C major 7 is going to be here, C, E, G, B, so respectively 4th, 3rd, 1st, 1st. I go up a half step, here's my C note, and now I descend my D minor 7th. So I have 2nd finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger, 1st finger again. Let's continue. 4th string, 4th finger still. So my C major 7th arpeggio is like this. C, E, G, B. 1 note per string. Now what I like to do here is shift here, go up a fret with that same finger, and then descend this way. 4th finger for the A, 3rd finger for the F, and then 1st finger for the D. So that's the idea. What I got to do there again is arpeggiate my C major scale simply by breaking it down between a C major 7th arpeggio and a D minor 7th arpeggio. Now, I'm not going to let you go now. What if I were thinking Dorian? What if I'm thinking of a D Dorian scale? Because that concept, you can use it for every single scale, every single mode you want to think of. So I'm not going to run through all of them, but I'm just going to show you the same thing with D minor. So D minor 7th, D Dorian, let's say first, it's D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Those are the notes, so the D Dorian, right? So I'm going to break down a D minor 7 chord, and then go descending with the next diatonic chord. So after D minor, I have E minor 7. So E minor 7 in this same position is going to be this. E, G, B, D. So I combine these notes, D, F, A, C, D, what happens here, I end up doing fourth finger and then first finger here. It's a bit clumsy because of the big strings and then the little shift, but it's worth. Again, like I said earlier, this is really interesting as a technical exercise. So the more challenging it is, the more interesting it is, right? Because that's how we find our limitations and, you know, whatever we need to work on. So let me just do a few. I probably won't run through all of them, but you know, D minor 7 is here, and then E minor 7 in this position is going to be this way. So I'm going to go again, D minor 7. Here I can use the fourth finger. That way I'm going to be ready for this position. Like this, D minor, D, F, A, C. Then for my D again, I can anticipate and use the fourth finger, and then B, G. Like this. Let me finish here. So I have D minor 7. So again, it's D first, fourth, third, first, fourth, first, first, third, first. And let's see, we can do it here. One last fingering for this area. D, F, A, C, like this. Like this, okay? And then clearly you're going to have another whole set of fingerings by starting with the fourth finger. Like this. So D minor is going to be like this. Fourth, second, first, fourth, first, and then now descending the E minor, third, fourth, first again, okay? So that's all there is to it. The concept here again is for whatever scale you might be taking, you take one arpeggio and then you combine it with the arpeggio of the chord that is immediately after it. You know, so two neighboring arpeggiated chords will give you all 7 notes of the scale that you're after. Okay? So if you have any questions, problems, or issues whatsoever, you let me know, and we'll continue with that some other time. Take care. Bye.